My bad. I had to turn off the lighting to my freaking laptop. I mean, it just goes crazy. Like it used to just strobe in these crazy bright lights like non-stop. Like the cover of the laptop used to just strobe in this wild bright light. And so I had to like go through all these, the little, those little, I call them proprietary apps that they have on these laptops where it's like you manage like fan speed and stuff like that. Like as if you ever really use those apps. Oh, they just loaded with so much bloat. I mean, I don't know. A lot of times, I guess it's better than nothing, but then at the same time, it's like if it was just directly in the Windows setting, I think it would be a little bit more easy and streamlined instead of having to download a whole entire application and like update the application. Then they talking about, oh, you can make your own lighting settings and stuff like that. This situation took me literally 40 minutes. Oh my goodness. But yeah, the title of this one is Tekken is over. And I'm gonna get into this in a second. Oh my goodness. Hold on. So basically, when I first started playing Tekken, oh my goodness, yo, I'm so sick of this. But you know what? Maybe. Hold on. I just don't care. So I've been playing Tekken since Tekken 6. And I started playing Tekken 6 because Soul Calibur got like a little spike in popularity and they went on to make Soul Calibur 5. And when they made Soul Calibur 5, they made so many like weird, balancing revisions. And they made it so like it was just a real sloppy, it just felt very lazy, it just felt like it was kind of like a rollback in a lot of ways. It just wasn't good. A lot of things that came out around that time were not good. And around the time of Soul Calibur 5 was around the time of like sort of like the middle years of Xbox. It was almost like it's sort of like the middle years of Xbox 360. It was like Xbox 360 at first came out. It was an unexpected success. And it had just so many great things happen for it. You know what I mean? It was like you had Grand Theft Auto 3, I believe it might have been, or Grand Theft Auto 4. Then you had Castle Crashers. Then you had Modern Warfare 2, Battlefield 3. You had that was around the time of Halo Reach. I mean, these things were like astronomical. And so this was kind of like at a time when it was just like playing games was really big. But it was at a time where games more or less reached their pinnacle because this was at the time when the quote unquote hype started. And the hype was all derived around pre-orders and stuff like that. But prior to that, it was more of a pure time frame because the people that played video games were genuinely people that just played video games. This was also around the time when video games started to really sort of catch traction on YouTube. And when they really started catching traction on YouTube, it was around the time when like a lot of it was around the time when people really started building a lot of traction playing like Modern Warfare. Like if somebody got like a nuke on Modern Warfare, it was wild. You know what I'm saying? Someone got a chopper gunner on Modern Warfare, it was wild. And so people were really interested in watching this stuff. I used to watch this stuff all the time. And so after playing Soul Calibur 4 and just, it being what it was and just really thinking it was cool, Soul Calibur 5 was the next best thing. And it was really when more or less the mainstream started playing video games, and so they tailored Soul Calibur 5 to the mainstream, and I just really wasn't feeling it. Number one, the game was not balanced at all. So I mean, that was that, and it was just totally unfinished. And see, this is a byproduct of this stupid ass hype stuff because it was unfinished. This is when they started releasing like unfinished games, and this is really around the time when unfinished games became the norm. This is around the time when the game started getting really lazy because so many people were so invested in gaming. I don't know why people were invested in gaming. Me personally, I just had different things going on when I was going to school. And I just think around this time, this is the time I believe when like the real world really started to degrade. This is the time I believe when like socializing in public and stuff like that really started to go down the drain. Because even though I was playing, PlayStation and stuff like that, I was more or less doing it because of my lifestyle. Also because I just didn't have a lot going on. and I just found refuge, and I found, entertainment and just satisfaction out of just playing games. But it's like so many people had come over, from all sorts of different normal stuff, and they sat there and started playing games. And this is and what it did was it just did so much damage. It was like Grand Theft Auto. It just went down the drain. Modern Warfare, that was around the time of like Modern Warfare. That was around the time of the first Black Ops, but it was like after Black Ops, Modern Warfare truly was never the same. And Soul Calibur is no exception. And so I went and I played Tekken 6. And see, the thing about Tekken 6 was done in around, I believe it was 2008, in that time frame. And that was the time frame of real, like, pure gaming. That was the time frame of Street Fighter 4. That was also the time frame of Gears of War. Like, all the Gears of Wars were like so serious. So that was like the time frame of like the Gears of War. You know what I mean? That was the time frame of like Modern Warfare 2. Running around playing Havana. Hold on, man. This is just so fucking annoying. These people are so gay. Hold on, man. I guess. And so, playing Tekken 6, I mean, even though the netcode was bad, I was just so satisfied because it just gave me all the complexity that I ever wanted to play. It was like, it really reminded me of when I started playing The Witcher. I remember, like, I was just, like, scouring, like, so many games at that time, just looking for something that was, like, satisfying, that I could just play, like, that was more traditional to what I knew video games to be in terms of, like, complexity, you know what I mean, in terms of just, like, gameplay and stuff like that. And, playing Tekken 6 was just so fulfilling. Like, I remember when I played The Witcher for the first time, I was like, oh my goodness, I had no idea that this was such a good game. And not similar to like playing Bloodshot Redemption. And as a matter of fact, I'm actually going to play that game again because that's really what I want to do. Oh my goodness, this man is fucking trash. Why is this like the only option this fool has? I can tell by the way this guy plays that he's the type of guy that thinks that grabs are really cheap. You could tell he's the type of guy that like really complains about grabs. Oh my goodness. Yo, what is happening here? Oh my god. Fucking trash. I'm just so sick of these fucking idiots. Like they just sit here and devise some stupid ass plan to push buttons non-stop and then they just sit here and run this bullshit. And see, this is the reason why you need complexity in fighting games. Without complexity, this is what you end up with. And this is the type this is the way that they really are like just shift the game. Like they pretty much turn everything into a freaking tablet game. And it's like, look, man, send these fools back to the Apple store so they can figure out how to freaking port. I don't know what it is that they want to play. Some bullshit ass, like, you know, everything is 0 frames to fucking a little portable or something like that. But, anyways, to a freaking tablet. And you know what? That's actually what I need to get on Steam. I need to get Bloodshot Redemption. That's what I really want to play. But anyways, I was just so happy with it when I started playing Tekken 6 because I was just like, wow, this really reminds me of like playing The Witcher. And I remember and it's wild too because I remember when I played The Witcher, I remember like nobody played it. Like I remember I was like, wow, like this game, like no, I never heard of this before. And I remember playing it and it was just so dense. And I played it from start to finish. And it was just, it had so much complexity to it. I was just so happy with it. Come on, let me lay on the ground. Come on, I'm gonna lay on the ground the whole time. I'm gonna be on the ground. I'm gonna be on the ground like a bitch. Come on. Come on. Come on, I'm gonna do bitch ass stances all day. Come on, I'm gonna lay on the ground. Come on. Dang, I didn't even bind that. Come on, you know you're gonna lay on the ground. I don't even know why you're trying to play like you don't lay on the ground. You know you lay on the ground. Go ahead, lay on the ground. Lay on the ground. With your fucking dumb ass. Lay your little dumb ass on the ground. You know you're gonna lay on the ground. I don't even know why you over here faking. Come on, I'm gonna lay on the ground. Lay on the fucking ground. Exactly. Just fuck on the ground. I don't know, what is this man even standing out for? Fuck over here. So anyways, I'm sorry to be so mean. I'm just really kind of I'm just really tired of I'm just really tired of I'm just tired of playing these people on fighting games and they just be so disappointing. To be honest, it has nothing to do with this dude. I'm pretty sure this dude is cool. And to be honest, he doesn't play like the typical Lee that I've been playing against. Like this man, his name is Mr. Grimm. He doesn't play like Mr. Grimm, where he just basically just lays on the floor all day. I'm just getting lazy. I'm getting lazy. Yo, what is happening? Oh, no. I don't feel like dealing with all this, man. I just want to make my little commentary, man. I just want to make my little video, man. I ain't trying to do this, man. I ain't trying to do this. I ain't trying to do this, man. I ain't trying to do this. I ain't trying to do this, man. My thing is this, man. Why don't I ever do this? I don't never do this. I should have launched that, man. I'm just tired of playing this stupid shit all day now. I really am. But you know what? We're going to do one more just to break the ice. We're going to do one last one just to break the ice, man. But anyways, I was so happy with The Witcher. You know, The Witcher just made me happy. And you know, nobody played The Witcher. I played The Witcher 1 and I played The Witcher 2. And let me tell you something. These people, they watch what I play. They watch what I play. They know, and I know I know that they watch what I play because everything that I've ever played has always become like this just major overload of just, you know, everybody wants to play it all of a sudden. And it just pisses me off because when I'm playing this stuff, these people over here playing stuff like Dark Souls and shit. I've never played Dark Souls in my life. And I probably never will play Dark Souls. I'm sure it's a great game. Now you staying up on this wall, boy. You staying up on this wall, boy. Staying up on this wall. Yo, this man is hilarious. Ah, come on, man. I did what I was supposed to do, man. See, that's why I hate being mean and I mean let's just be honest. I'm not a mean fighting game player at all. Whew. Alright, see, this is what happens when you start relaxing with these people. Man thought that pushed back. It was a good game. Oh, Leo's the greatest. But yeah, so I was just so happy, you know, with like it just see all the games from that time frame, they are just so solid, you know, and it's just like all the games like after like during like after the peak of you know when the mainstream started really rushing towards games and stuff like that. You know, when people that like would never play PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, you know what I'm saying? Or like they'd be like, "Oh, PlayStation 3, why would I buy that?" You know what I'm saying? Once they like finally started playing games, oh man. But anyways, The Witcher, it was just so fulfilling. Nobody played it, and I know for a fact that these fools watch the games that I play. As a matter of fact, let me get off of ranked because they playing games with me on ranked anyway. They're giving me all these little 400. I don't got time to this little bullshit ass 400 XP. But I just remember Tekken 6. It just was on par with games like Soul Calibur 4. It was on par with games like Grand Theft Auto 3. It was, I mean, Grand Theft Auto 3 was tremendous when that game came out. It was tremendous for the gaming world. It was tremendous. And what am I talking about when I'm talking about the gaming world? I'm talking about people that used to go on the internet and go to go to GameSpot.com to read about what game was coming out. They used to look at screenshots. I'm talking about people that used to go to IGN.com people that would go to GameTrailers.com. These are the original player. This is the original player base, which nowadays is the super superhuman race, which is basically the PC base now. Before before PC was just like it was like it was like the super race. Now it's just it's the superhuman race. Everybody's on PC now. But these games were tremendous, and this is basically what Tekken 6 did not disappoint. Wow, this is hard. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Hold on. So I mean, it was just Tekken 6, man. Tekken 6 was it, man. The only problem with Tekken 6 was Tekken 6 has so much. It had so much of the complexity that everyone really like craved. And it was everything that video games were up until that point. It was in a combination of everything that video games were up until that point. Up until that point, most video games for the most part were very much like real deep rooted passion projects that people put together, and and hold on, I'm trying to actually do something else at the exact same time. I'm actually trying to get another excellent game that honestly I don't even want to mention because I'm just afraid if I even say this game, these fools are going to sit up here and try to reboot it, and then they're going to do that bullshit ass hype train that they do for everything that they do, and it's just going to come out and it's going to be total trash, and then I'm going to have to deal with all these dumbass jabronis all in my freaking ruining up my game and stuff like that. So I got to sit here and watch it like the freaking Witcher TV series, like the first episode. I just sit here and look at it like, oh my god, what has happened? But anyways, All right, cool. I'm very happy. I'm very happy because I'm just so happy to have. You know, it's not called Super. It's called the Master Race. Okay, I'm so happy. All right. You know what? Let me go ahead and put this. Hold on. I gotta save this little. I'm gonna start playing this game. But you know, I wonder if I can even stream it. Anyways, Tekken 6. It was you know, coming out of Tekken Soul Calibur 5. It was just really like it was once again a breath of fresh air because it was just everything that I really loved about games, and you know, it was all there. You know what I mean? It just made me so happy. I remember, like for example, Electric Fountain was just so great to play Electric Fountain, and then I'm gonna do a video on this, but one of my favorite fighting game stages of all time is Mystical Forest, and I played Mystical Forest, and I was just so my mind was so blown. Then they also had the outdoor winter stage, which kind of slips my mind right now. And then even Heihachi's stage, Heihachi's stage, that stage is so Japanese. It reminded me of some of my friends, some of my Asian friends that I grew up with. And the game Tekken 6 was just so pure. Like it was just so pure. I really wish that I was there when the game had released. And you know, I caught it on the tail end because you know I'm a Soul Calibur player. I've been playing Soul Calibur my entire life. But it's just like once Soul Calibur 5 came out. And you know what? Since I'm talking, I realize that I can't really play. I can't really play people. I gotta play the computer. Yeah, forgive me for my dialogue too. You know what I mean? I'm from Virginia, so I'm gonna be honest. People out here are very mean. And I mean, it's just certain, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not. But anyways, I played Tekken 6, and I was just so happy. I mean, Electric Fountain, Mystical Forest. I believe the outdoor stage is called something Villa. And then even in Soul Calibur 4, I mean, levels like Virgin Snow. Like there was, I think the Lost, I forgot Tower. I forgot what the name of these stages are, but these stages they're just so monumental, and they're not necessarily they weren't necessarily monumental at the time. At the time, you know, that was just basically what games were. I mean, every game prior to that was similar to that. There was just so much passion in it. So it's like, you know, on the back end of like of Tekken 6, I got like I always say, I got the last 2 hours of Tekken 6. I literally got like the last like 4 months of Tekken 6 because as soon as I started playing Tekken 6, they were like, look, we're coming out with Tekken Tag 2. And see, here's the thing, the wild thing about Tekken 6. When I started playing Tekken 6, it was at the time when it was at the time when the game had already run its course. In other words, the game had been out so long. They ran so many tournaments. It just got to the point where it was on the back end. Like they had, you know, little tournaments stuff like that, but at that time Tekken was a very niche group. It was a very underground group. You know, at that time, Street Fighter was the streamlining game that everyone was into. Mortal Kombat, you know, like those were like more like the upfront games. All right, I'm putting my winning streak on the line. So what is happening here? Because these fools are really trying to take these fools are really trying to take my streak down. Hold on. Hold on, man. These fools are really trying to do this. No. Yo, look at these freaking dust balls. They couldn't wait to do that. Hold on, man. These fools is really messing up my whole entire commentary. But yeah, I caught the back end of Tekken 6. And they were just like, you know what, we're gonna put out Tekken Tag 2. And so, you know, they put out Tekken Tag 2, and I'll be honest, Tekken Tag 2 did not disappoint. It was probably, I believe, I think it's like, I say it's the best Tekken to date. The game is incredible. And it was so incredible that it was overwhelming. It was so incredible that like I could hardly play it. It took me such a long time to learn it, let alone the fact that, you know, you dealing with lag and stuff like that. But see, the thing about Tekken Tag 2 is, see, Tekken Tag 2 was a big rarity, because even during the times of Tekken Tag 2, Tekken was not the number one fighting game. It was still Street Fighter. These fools is over here playing Street Fighter. These fools is over here playing Marvel versus Capcom. And as a matter of fact, I need to get my streak back. Hold on, because these fools, I can't believe these fools really got rid of my streak like that. So these fools over here, these people out here playing Marvel vs. Capcom. They over here playing Street Fighter 4. You know, they over here playing Dead or Alive. And at this time, you know, Tekken, it was kind of like, you know, it was working its way up. And it was interesting because at this time, you know, as a Tekken player, you know, it was like one of those times where it was like, you know, you really kind of more or less rooted for your game. You know, when it showed up in Evo, it wasn't the most popular game, so you made sure that you were there to kind of like support everything, and like you just wanted to kind of see the game grow, because you kind of really just wanted to see this game continue. You, and more than anything, you want to see the game improve. You know, you expected Tekken 7 to be better than Tekken 6. You know what I mean? And you just felt as though, you know, that's pretty much what you wanted. If you were really a part of like the people that really appreciated it. What is, I don't even understand this whole dog move. And then so here we are, and you know they put out Tekken 7, And I'll be honest, I really do like Tekken 7 a lot. I think it. Yo, this man is doing this. Oh. What it is they want me to play King, you know, and the thing about it is I really don't play King that much because I'm dealing with a lot of jabronis, and these fools are not gonna sit here and just download every absolute thing that I do so they can sit here and strategize every single counterattack. I just finished watching this fool, and I'm sitting here watching this man analyze his own gameplay. And this man is really out here, like, really thinking about, like, counterattacks. I'm sitting here like, you really out here trying to figure out a way to interrupt a string with an attack. I said, man, I am done. I said, I am done. I am done. These fools. I mean, here's the thing. You can interrupt an attack, you know, or you can interrupt strings with a counterattack. But that's not how you fight at all. You don't sit there and think to yourself, oh, this is a high, so when this happens, I can instantly do that. Like, you don't think that. You can do that. Anyways, I don't want to get too thrown off because I'm just kind of. It's just funny how, like, these people will literally, like, try to memorize, like, strings in order to counter them, and it's just so unprofessional. It's just really unprofessional. Like, for example, with Leo, I can just duck and do a raw rising too for a lot of things that are high. But I'm not, like, sitting here thinking to myself, like, oh, okay, so when this has happened, I'm going to do this. And, like, this is what these people really be strategizing. And this is the reason why I don't really play King that much. Yo, this freaking fool. What the fuck is going on? Yo, they made sure to give me this fool. Hold on, man, because they already know that I'm gonna go ahead. These people really took my 25 wins like that. See, like right now, this is what they doing with Leo. They sitting over here because what they try to do is they try to figure out a way to stay on offense. And this is what I'm talking about. They just want to sit there and just, you know, and just be the one to do this and just, oh, he did that, so I'm going to come with this. And they just be so, like, you know, constantly just doing all this stuff all day. They just put so much energy on being able to constantly pressure so they don't have to ever play defense. And that's just not how you play. As much as I hate to be the person to be like, oh, that's improper. Oh, man, these people, they really playing some games today. Hold on, man. We about to, what is this man's name? Leroy? No, we about to let Leroy know he can't be just popping up in my damn stage. This is my stage. And they got this freaking dusty ass dude in a full three-piece. Disrespecting the scenery. This man is disrespecting the ocean with that. With these ugly ass clothes, hot as hell. Hold on, man. Disrespecting. Look at this. You see that sun setting? We don't need to see this. We don't need to see this. Hold on, man, because I'm mad now. See, they want to do this bullshit ass Leroy stuff. Fuck is going on? Yo, I'm so sick of this. How many times you gotta have me play against this freaking dust ball? 3 times in a row? Like, my goodness. It's cool because I like this stage anyway. But yeah, this fool's over here thinking to himself, oh, I'm gonna do this attack. They want to do that bullshit ass Leroy shit. Hold on, man. This damn thing is really on it right now. What the fuck is going on? And see, that's what the problem is. But I'm gonna digress for one moment. I'm really pushing anything. I'm just fucking in the air. What the fuck is going on? Fucking in the air. So, Tekken 7 came out and to be honest, I really like it a lot. It managed, but here's the thing. After Tekken Tag, they try to do that little Tekken Revolution bullshit. They try to make this little game where, it has minimal moves. From what I understood, the frames were really not punishing at all. It was a total 180 from the complexity of Tekken Tag 2 to in a huge way. And it was weird because it was like you ended up getting like XP. It's funny, I don't even know how I played that game. I think I might have had like a PlayStation for literally all of a short period to play it. But it was like you sat there and like you got like specific attacks, damage up and stuff like that. It was weird. But it was Tekken's first sort of more or less like stab at the mainstream. And it was at a point where it was like the game didn't really have the same identity. Wow. And so, Tekken 7 it's really interesting, and to be honest, I really wish I could have been there to have actually played it, but it was really during the real wonder years of Tekken 7 that I really ended up facing like really bad homelessness and living out in the street. I think I lived in the street for literally 4 years. Me and Mook, we just this was more or less the pandemic game. And at the time, I had a computer where I had Tekken 7 on it, and that was the first time that I actually played Tekken at like a high frame rate. And I had no idea how much I really was missing out on by playing on my television. It really opened my eyes, and I remember I just like blew a lot of people away in the beginning, and I just was so taken back at how fast the game actually is, plays. But I mean, with what happened with Tekken 7, I think it's a nice little fair equilibrium. It's definitely nowhere near as deep as Tekken 6 was, which I really feel like is kind of unfortunate, but I feel like it's a nice little compromise between. I try to do something different than what I knew I was going to do. They really, oh wow, they trying to do the same thing with Fang? But yeah, I missed all of Tekken 7. And when me and Mook were on the street, I remember when I saw some of the concept art for Tekken 8, and I was just like, Why does this game look so ugly? I remember I remember they showed like pictures of Law, and see, this is the thing. I don't talk about Tekken 8 because I let them live their life, but they really got me upset with Tekken 7 not working on PC right now because of what I have Windows 11. Like, this is ridiculous. They really got me upset, so now I'm talking about this. But I just remember seeing the artwork for Tekken 8, and I just remember thinking to myself, like, I am not gonna. This looks like I don't even know what these fools are doing. I said, whatever team is working on this, this doesn't look like a true Tekken team. This looks like it just see what happens when these games gets big, and people are able to whenever people know a game is major, they know there's money behind it. They know that they can. It's more of an accomplishment. What ends up happening is that the passionate team of developers that were that quote unquote worked all day and all night, and they put their heart and soul into it, they get replaced with people that might have bigger names but aren't really there with the same identity. And what I mean by that is, like, they're like, they might have some sort of success or something, but they don't have that pure Tekken, love. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have that pure game title, whatever it's called, love. And it just really shows in the final product, and also with like the whole product direction. And it was just like, it's just like now that Tekken is like Tekken 7 really made Tekken the number one 3D fighter. And it was almost like the moment that you know you wanted to see way back in Tekken 6 really came to fruition, but you never thought that your game being the number one game meant that your game would never play the same. It reminds me of like Grand Theft Auto. I know I understand why a lot of people like Grand Theft Auto 5 or whatever it is, but from a person that grew up playing Grand Theft Auto, especially for someone that like really played Grand Theft Auto 3, I can't sit there and look at I can't play Grand Theft Auto 5 like seriously. I remember at one point one of my friends was like, "Yeah, this is basically Second Life," and it's interesting because like at one point I played Grand Theft Auto 5, like I beat it. I beat it. I had a little, I don't even know what they call. I had different properties online or whatever. I had garages full of sentinels. I mean, that's all I end up doing. That's all I end up doing in Grand Theft Auto anyway. Is just get garages of sentinels. So I had my garages of sentinels. I had different, what I'm saying, virtually unlimited money. I got to that point. But as far as me like feeling as though I want to do it again, I don't. I could really care less about really doing it again. I just more or less did it because it was the thing to do at the time. But I was never really in love with the game. And it's just these consequences that come with a game reaching really big acclaim. Unfortunately, nowadays, it's like the attention that you wanted for your game, yo, this fool is really trying to win. Hold on. Wow, what type of launch was that? Wow. It's like the attention that you wanted for your game. It's just like once it gets it, it's almost like the attention. It's not necessarily about the game. What happens is it shifts to the audience, and it shifts to pleasing the audience. And it's like once it sort of makes that shift, then it's like the game ends up becoming degraded because they try to cater to everyone. The reality of the matter is that that's totally wrong. It's totally wrong from a gaming perspective, and everybody that really comes from the original days knows that it's wrong. Super Smash Brothers, it's the same Super Smash Brothers today that it was when they were that it was when they were playing Brawl. You know, I mean, people. Now I know people that play Smash, you know, or whatever. Like when they're serious about it or something, they know all the intricacies about it. They probably have different statements to make in regards to that. But I mean, just from like a pure like, okay, if I sit here and this percentage gets this high, this person is going to fly out of the stage. You know, it's still like a fun party game. But it's like games like Tekken. I mean, they really lose their identity when it comes to when they hit the mainstream and they become popular because they start changing the dynamics of the game for the audience. And to be honest, I don't know who in Tekken universe asked for such ugly ass Tekken characters. Like we've had so many Tekkens that no, that these characters, their artwork and their design is set in stone. Like if they want to sit here and NVIDIA GTX that out, then they can do that. All they gotta do is look at PC and NVIDIA GTX it that way. You know, they could sit there and add, you know, more complex shading and color palettes and, you know, more or less fulfill the characters as they are. But nobody asked for a super surreal looking Law that doesn't even look like Bruce Lee. Nobody asked for some sort of aged, whacked out Paul that doesn't even look like Chuck Norris. You know, nobody asked for some like, you know, puberty, you know, ridden Leo that doesn't even look like Leo. Nobody asked for some like weird ash chin Fang that doesn't even look like Fang. Nobody asked for that. And it's for this reason that once I saw that stuff, I'm like, cool. But what I realized that has happened is one thing that I'm starting to pay attention to is it's the base Tekken player, because it's reached the mainstream, is gotten to a point of this fool is really gonna try to win. Yo, this man is. Oh wait, hold on. This is air drop. Okay, cool. It's just now what the player base has become is the player base has become the Street Fighter players of yesterday, and I'm talking about not the core Street Fighter players. I'm talking about the fans that played the game and had the game constantly, you know, #1 at Evo and stuff like that. I'm talking about the people that played Marvel vs. Capcom, and they were always, you know, playing Marvel vs. Capcom. I mean, you know, the game it's a good game and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But the true core of that game versus like the audience that game attracted are not one and the same. You know, when a game is like really popular and it attracts like the masses, it genuinely attracts like a lot of like hardcore like jabronis. And if a game knows what they're doing, they'll stay true to their format. But if a game starts getting caught up in generating revenue, or I guess maybe like, you know, generating profit or something like that, then what will happen is they'll start catering to that audience. And it just seems like this is what's happened with Tekken. It doesn't even resemble Tekken. I don't know what those fools is over there doing. You know, moves aren't even punishable anymore. They got, you know, they over here heating it up. I don't know what is going on. And, you know, it just really kind of dawned on me today when I sat and I went on my computer and I tried to play Tekken 7. And I'm sitting here looking at all this information, and they're telling me that I can't play Tekken 7 because The last Windows it was compatible with was Windows 8. And because I have Windows 11, like, I now I gotta deal with this wild system crash all the time. Like, I'll sit here and do a whole entire factory reset to my computer just to get on the computer and like search like to see if anyone's on the game, and the game is totally desolate. Now here's the situation, and this is the reason why it kind of brings me to the understanding that it's over for Tekken, is because I don't know what is wrong with these people, but they just have this problem with their titles surviving the test of time. Like, I'm sitting over here on PlayStation 4, I'm like, okay, let me play Tekken 6. And then I sit here and look at this, and these fools are really gonna sit here and stream Tekken 6? They're gonna stream Tekken 6. One of like the best fighting games ever made. We're gonna sit here and stream this. So now when I sit here and I just play by myself, I have more lag in the world. Like, I can't, like, so now if I were to sit here and compare this title to the original PlayStation 3 title, like the original blows it out of the water. And see, the thing about it is they're doing this because they want everyone to play the most recent, latest, and greatest. And unfortunately, that's what the problem is. And this is the reason why it's over for Tekken, because Tekken is never going to be able to regain its former glory. And then when I'm talking about former glory, I'm talking about in regards to passion. All right, this fool is out here trying to win. Hold on. You're not going to see another electric fountain. You're not going to see another mystical forest. You're not going to see another 250 move list. You're not going to see another wake up float. They literally sat here and they literally developed all of the complexities out of the game so they can just basically cater to people that want to play, that want to just be jabronis, and they want to play like easy games where everyone can win. And it's just so costly because ain't nobody got time for that. When it came to Soul Calibur 5, that was it. They played that game on Soul Calibur 5 and it ended that game. Now Soul Calibur 6, I'm just glad because it really is the Soul Calibur equivalent to Tekken 7, which is really a nice middle ground between the complexities of this, Soul Caliburs, from the Golden Age, and sort of the more streamlining of games now. It just has the nice little forgiving range, even though with the comeback mechanics and stuff like that, it really does give jabronis more of a chance than I believe they should have, but it is what it is. It's not too bad. But the thing about it is now I'm sitting over here looking at these people, they over here talking about Tekken Tag 3, and I'm sitting over here looking at these little fan-made concepts, and I'm like, this does not look like Tekken at all. This looks like total trash. This looks like, what I'm saying, some like Tekken, I don't know what this is. This stuff is looking like they look like coloring books. And the reason why I say it's over for Tekken is because in order for it to be not over for Tekken, the game's gonna have to be complex, and they're never gonna let it be complex. The reason they're not gonna let it be complex is because they're not gonna. I mean, they just don't have it. They don't have it anymore. And I know, to some capacity, they're happy, being able to do the little Tekken tours and, have their, Tekken leagues, and, these people are, doing whatever it is that they're doing this stuff. But at the end of the day, all they're doing really is they're just playing Marvel vs. Capcom. And, even though Tekken was, such a great game back in Tekken 6, and it was such a little niche community, and like no one really knew what it was, that's really what Tekken is. And honestly, it's just kind of sad because it's like you look back at those times and you just realize like Tekken was so much better than what it is now. As just a little niche game, Tekken 6 was so strong, and it was so passionate, and it was just so much depth to it. And it's just like now it's gone. Yeah, this stuff is called Tekken, but I don't know, this stuff might as well be a mobile game. I don't care nothing about all this NVIDIA, Unreal, oh wow, we got particles in the sky and all sort of stuff. No, all that stuff was supposed to be used so we can have good refresh rate, so we can have good frames, so we can have a good netcode, so we can have a robust system. You sit over here and you look at these offline modes. What do you have? You have arcade battle and treasure battle. Are you kidding me? What is this? Oh, I got some DLC Ultimate Tekken Bowl. Ain't nobody asked for this. This is not. And then on top of that, okay, so where am I going to play Tekken Ball? Oh, I got to sit here and get a whole Nintendo console just to play Tekken Ball? And see, the reality of the matter is that I'm not going to sit here and just be like some type of, video game journalist where I just sit over here and just get mad at everything, because everything truly, has, since the spike of Xbox, really lost a lot of its core essence. I mean, we already know about a lot of these things. But when it comes to certain areas, certain crevices of the gaming universe, especially areas that were never as popular as what they are now, I think a lot of this has to do with overpopulation. I think a lot of this has to do with the normalization of video games in everyone's life. Just to see something like a fighting game, something as pure as fighting games, get reduced to such filth, it just really makes me sick. And when I say filth, I don't want to. I'm not going to say filth, but when it gets reduced to something so simple, and then on top of that, when I can't actually go back and play the games that I love to play, you're going to sit here and try to force me to play this bullshit ass 8. Oh, Tekken 7. Oh, we stopped patching that back in 22. We're on to this. I don't care what y'all are on to. And to be honest, they don't. The reason why they don't let those games run is because if they let those games run, they know damn well that the people that really love Tekken will be playing those games, and this little new bullshit that they put out is not going to sell. And they don't want anything competing with this new bullshit. And unfortunately, it's not cool. It's not cool because what am I supposed to do? Go to what am I supposed to do? Go to some antique, pawn shops. I can sit here and look for a PlayStation 3 just so I can get online and play some laggy ass Tekken Tag 2 when I got a console that's more capable of running these games. And you mean to tell me that I can't play it on this? And that's unacceptable. But see, this is what happens when you have a player base of people that are not true to the core. Once this stuff blew up, and once they ended up, after the Gears of War era, don't get me wrong, there were still a lot of great games that came out. Like, for example, but even still, it was like when Mass Effect first came out, nobody knew what that was. Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, what is this? People playing it, people loving it. And then it's just like everyone playing, so now it's just like they make it so dumb. It's like, what are you talking about? I'll sit here and play Soul Calibur 2. Like, I'll play whatever they had on Soul Calibur 2. I forgot what the name of that game mode was. And I'll literally sit here and just play against the computer, and I'll literally have a game experience. This right here It's some arena, all you know, MLG type, catered situation. And honestly, it's just wild because when you look back at Tekken 6, it was such a niche group of people. And if you look back at like some of the stuff that was going on, like the way that they were getting ready to play against each other, the way people were talking crazy, you know what I mean? The way people were, what was going on, it was just so much more pure, like everything. And it was just such a little niche group. I mean, the same thing could be said for Soul Calibur. A whole bunch of little jabronis over there in Philadelphia. They all getting together every single winter time. They getting together and they having winter brawl, and it'd be like 30 of these fools, and they do a little stream before everyone and their grandmother could stream. They do a little stream, and then you know what I mean. Like everyone that ever played the game was just everything was just so deep that the stream was just fulfilling. And it's just the game. The market is so saturated right now, and honestly, we don't need any more saturation. We need more purification because without these things becoming pure, I mean, it's just over with. I'm gonna go ahead and look at these characters really quick. Like, look at this. Everyone and their damn grandma is over here in this damn game. And they got all these characters nobody asked for. Nobody asked for Shaheen. Nobody. And I'm not sitting there trying to disrespect anything or whatever, but it's just like this isn't even cohesive at this point. What is Lucky Chloe? What I mean, thanks for Leroy and everything, but Wang is what I'm saying. Leroy could have easily just been a costume alternate or something like that. I mean, I guess, but at the end of the day, like, what happened to Bruce? And see, here's the thing. I understand that they're not necessarily trying to make the same game and whatnot, but this is not the way to do it. Spreading out all these alternates, this doesn't make no kind of sense. Kuni Mitsu over here looking like I don't know what Kuni Mitsu was over here looking like, but the Kuni Mitsu that I know is this one. That's not the Kuni Mitsu I know. I'm gonna show you. I don't know what that is. This is some like little. I don't know who that is. But I'm gonna show you the Koni Mitsu I know. This is the Koni Mitsu I know. And this is the Koni Mitsu from Tekken 2. And not literally, but in regards to like the character and Anyways, I don't know how to play with Konimitsu, but anyone that knows, um, it's just like Konimitsu looks like some like little tween, not like the assassin. Yoshimitsu, I mean, are you kidding me? Yoshimitsu was like scary. Marduk, I don't know what they got. They done turned Marduk from Triple H and Rampage Jackson to some freaking gym bro. Who is Gigas? And see, this is the thing. I don't even want to tear this down because Seven wasn't really too bad. It's just I just kind of feel like when Seven came out, it was the beginning of something of that nobody really, it was the beginning of change, and I just feel like we're kind of at a point where the change is so far when it comes to to Tekken that I just don't think there's ever going to be any going back. Because for things to go back, things would have to be done right. Like, man, I'm done. I'm done. I mean, the whole thing is that Tekken is over. You could sit there and wait another 5 years for whatever else they're gonna put out, but that's 5 years. You could get hype if you want, but if you haven't learned your lesson from between between the current year between the current year 2025 and then when that whole entire get excited, you know what I'm saying, and then we're gonna sit out here and put out this bullshit have done games bullshit started in 2010. If you haven't learned your lesson over the past 15 years about that, then there goes wishful thinking. But I haven't seen anything over the past decade that ever made me want to go and look at IGN.com or GameTrailers.com interested in where the story and direction and complexity is going. As far as I'm concerned, the last phenomenal game that really has come out just, and was really phenomenal was Sekiro. And the game prior to that was The Witcher 3. And it's wild because like I said, it's like I don't know. Even The Witcher reached that pinnacle. Even Fallout reached that pinnacle. They talking about indie games are back. Yeah, they are. Because the games that were supposed to these fools 1 minute they talking about the mobile market is so big they making all this money in the mobile market, and then now these fools is over here playing on consoles. I want them to go back to the mobile market, because what's really happening is these primary titles, these mainstream titles are turning into indie games. Pretty indie games. And honestly, I've just had enough.